G'day, NotJah Witness here, and we're going to do something a little bit different. I don't know if you've heard, but the other day, my little country had another terrorist attack, and I just wanted to, I suppose, have my say. So first, we're going to just quickly watch a small news video put out by ABC News Australia, and then I'm just going to have a few words.
He made coffee for a city, and the city loved him in return.
It's such a sad day in Melbourne for somebody like Sᕼᗩ, who was the happiest person you could ever imagine.
Sᕼᗩᑎᕮ was today identified as the victim of Friday's Bourke Street attack, and as news of his death spread, Pellegrini's became an impromptu shrine. A bar and laneway devoted to food, laughter and good times was flooded with grief. His business partner of more than 40 years was inconsolable.
It's a big part of my life has gone, just dropped straight into a great big hole.
Mr Malaspina became co-owner of Pellegrini's in 1974. From its timeless menu to its heritage-listed neon sign, the bar has left an indelible mark on the city's culture.
Pellegrini's and that part of Melbourne, that top end of Bourke Street, that laneway and that whole community around there is the beating heart of Melbourne.
In a video taken with customers just weeks ago, Mr Malaspina's passion for the business was as strong as ever.
The shop has been here since 1954. It has remained unchanged.
He was a guy with a great heart, so he always looked after people, and it was amazing to see people from all walks of life really warm to him.
Mr Malaspina was attacked just a short stroll from where he spent so much of his life. Eyewitnesses say he appeared to approach the car to offer assistance after it burst into flames. He was then stabbed in the chest. John Rager was one of those who rushed to his aid.
Hoping, that he might make it, but I think we were prepared for the worst.
Two men spent the night in hospital. One of them has been identified as Launceston businessman Rod Patterson. Back on Melbourne streets, people were still coming to terms with the madness they had witnessed.
A little bit cautious today, just worrying, if there's anything else going to happen.
To be honest, I'm scared now to leave my family, go shopping by themselves like this. It's just it's unsafe.
Dion St Maur watched the attack unfold right below him. He tried to douse the fire with a hose from an upstairs balcony, while his staff shielded pedestrians inside his dumpling shop.
I'm still obviously, shaken up about it because, all my staff were in danger yesterday.
You've got to keep going on with your life. You can't let them sort of make you live in fear, I suppose.
For many, this sign summed up the determination not to be afraid, a resolve being tested by circumstances that have become all too familiar.
First thing I have to say, obviously, is Mr Malaspina is a fucking legend. He's a hero, mate, and that can't be denied. You rest in peace, mate. So for those who haven't heard, on Friday afternoon in Melbourne, 30-year-old Hassan Khalif Shire Ali pulled up in Bourke Street in a four-wheel drive containing gas cylinders turned to their open position in what police said was a failed plan to cause an explosion. The Somalia-born Ali then stabbed three men, including the popular 74-year-old Italian restaurateur Sᕼᗩ Malaspina, who died at the scene. The two other victims are now recovering in Royal Melbourne Hospital. I believe one was a Good Samaritan who came to help, if I'm not mistaken, and the other, I believe, was a police officer. Thankfully, both are okay and recovering. Now, this is going to be tough coming from me, and a lot of people are not going to quite understand where I'm coming from. However, I want to put this out there, at least, to think about. This terrorist, somehow, with all his evil, awful, criminal ways, couldn't get a gun He had a knife. And guess what? There are guns here. A lot of us have guns. It's not like they're completely illegal or anything. They just have restrictions. Somehow, the only mass murder with a gun, or at all, was with a gun in the last 30 years in my country. Despite all the guns here, and despite all the crazy people, and the multiculturalism that we have to deal with, the only one was used by a legally, privately owned gun. He was a rural man, farmer. What you guys in America probably call a redneck, gun lover. And he wasn't even all that crazy, he was just a cult member. This terrorist had a knife. And unfortunately, he managed to create this tragedy where one person lost their life. A fucking hero. But it wasn't 20. Did you see the fucking crowds around that scene? It wasn't 30. It wasn't 40. How the fuck are you gonna kill 40 people with a knife? I fucking challenge you to come here and try it. You'll get shot. Just like you would in America. But you know who doesn't get shot? Everyone else. Because we're not petrified of people with fucking guns. Now I understand this is probably going to upset a few people. I will lose some subscribers. That's okay. I'm not going to be able to talk with you if you're that basic. If you're just going to leave over that. If you can't reason with this. As I said, I have guns. We have guns. Like, this is a gun country. We fucking live in rural, like, the 99% of the land is rural, with wild animals you wouldn't fucking believe. Of course we have guns. We use them loudly and proudly, but you know what we don't use them on? Humans. Because we figure out what fuckwits are gonna shoot people, and we don't give them guns. The best they can get is a knife. And then how many do they kill? A couple at best. I'm not saying this because I have any real agenda with the gun thing, because as I said, I like guns. They're fun. And they're pretty necessary depending on where you live. I understand that. What I have an issue with is the complete disregard for humanity. So yeah, you guys don't like, in America, when your terrorist attacks are used for any agenda on this issue. So fuck you, I'm using our own. And y'all NRA cunts want to come after me, fucking do it. 'Cause I'm not American. So make sure and, do all the right things. Like, subscribe, hit that bell. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter at NotJah Witness. Yell your hate at me there. It's a lot more likely to get through to me. But otherwise, just remember, I'm your imaginary underworld apostate, NotJah Witness.
All I wanna do is live.